A great big spicy hello to each and every one of my favorite listeners. How are you today? This is Diana Price, and you're listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. You know we're here every Tuesday, 12 noon to 1 o'clock Pacific time, and we're on www.rmconair.com. If you want to join us, talk to us, call us with any questions that you have. The phone number is 323-965-1600. And I just want to remind you that at Diana Price and Associates, we ultimately work for you. We are your servants. The whole issue with how you run your business is our main concern. And we bring you the who's who in their field because we want you to understand how to grow your business, how to serve your customers, and continue to get leads just running through your pipeline. And today we have a really cool special friend, special guest that we're going to introduce you to. His name is Tim Thorndike. We're going to bring him on in just a moment. But I just want to make sure that during this holiday, you are really giving thanks, that you understand that what we're doing is to help you serve. So establish a service culture for yourself. Get it ingrained into your business. Get it ingrained into your own culture so that when you serve, you're not selling, you're not just transacting, because it's all about the interaction and it's not just about the transaction. So you're going to get some nuggets today. You're going to get a bunch of nuggets that you can use in your personal life and you can use in your business. I want to call your attention to the post that we made. We did a post on how to lighten up, find clarity and healing on dpriceassociates.com. So if you haven't gone on over to the blog, you'll see a nice, big, handsome picture of our guest, Tim Thorndike, today. And we are just about to introduce Tim. So Tim is going to be coming to us via video Skype. So you're going to see his handsome face in just a moment. But let me tell you a little bit about my friend Tim. Tim Thorndike has been helping individuals for over 30 years, Tim, 30 years, to find clarity and healing in their lives. As an experienced teacher, as an ordained minister, as a life coach, he really loves working patiently but expectantly with those ranging from children, big brother, big sister, Boy Scouts, and even the developmentally disabled. You say that 3 times. Developmentally disabled Christian Science and nursing students and public speakers. You know, Tim is also an accomplished healer, and he gives a lot of aha moments of clarity when he speaks. And I want to welcome you, Tim, and I want you to tell us a lot more about, because you're a published author and you have this bio, if you could see this bio, I mean, it goes on and on and on. But I want you to tell us a little bit about your healing, you know, all the things that you're doing. So let's welcome, with a great big round of applause, Mr. Tim Thorndike to the studio. Yay! Woo, Tim!
Hi. Glad to be here.
Great to have you here, Tim. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I just really scratched the surface of your bio. So tell us a little bit about, you're a published poet, you're an author, you've written, you write on topics about healing. So that means you know a lot about that subject, identity theft. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Well, let's see. As far as the identity theft, well, healing is really what my whole life has been about. I was brought up with the ideas of healing, not letting things go, not letting things fester, not letting things get swept under the rug, but healing them and going on. And that way we can go and grow. So I've been in the helping and giving business probably since I was 11 years old when I first joined Boy Scouts, and I was helping them and healing, correcting. I was always sort of the person that was trying to solve arguments and harmonize situations.
So tell me about your book. It's called Inside Out. Is it called From Fear to Abundance? Is this your new book?
That's right. It is, yes.
Well, I know we're going to get right into that, but I just wanted to let everybody know that what a great title. Inside Out, From Fear to Abundance. I love that title, Tim. So the book is out, and I know we're going to get back to it, but if you want to say a few words about the book before I start in, because I got a lot of questions to ask you that I hope everyone is going to really find valuable. So tell us just really quickly about the book. What's up with that awesome book?
Well, let's start with the title. Shall I do that?
Yeah, let's start with the title. I love that title.
Inside Out. Why inside out? Well, for every outward difficulty or challenge we face in life, we can find a solution within.
Yes.
And finding that stillness inside and expressing it outwardly in actions, the actions come outwardly, corresponding to the answers that we gain from within, is like a course correction on a ship.
I like that.
And it refocuses you, it guides, and it heals.
So, Inside Out, I get the feeling, and I feel that when you say that, that term actually goes down, because I use that a lot. You have to go down to the core of your being. And so when you go down really inside the core of your being, you are being yourself. You're not acting, you're not trying to do so. You are really being yourself. Do you know what I mean? Is that kind of what you're trying to say with Inside Out? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people miss. And so because they very seldom ever do get really inside themselves, they live day to day, just living according to the outward circumstances and thinking that those outward circumstances are what is governing them, when in fact it's all from inside you. Yeah, and that's where we find the real us, our natural state, you might say,
Yeah, I completely agree. And so when you're that way, Tim, I just because I have been doing a lot of work on myself. And when you work on yourself, it's difficult because you tend to really get stuck in the things that you do well, and the things that I'm really afraid to go, and really tap into some things that I'm not used to. But I've really been working on myself, and I'm finding that what you're saying is just so amazing, because when you know that you have the core of what you do, you don't have to think about it anymore, Tim. You don't have to think about it. You just be. And when you be, you have trained yourself to do the things that you're supposed to do, and you just do it automatically. But it takes it's a long journey to get there. I'm going to tell you. So how long did it take you to write your book? And give us some examples of how that's helped other people.
The book so far?
Yes, the book.
Okay.
I love the book.
I'll get you a copy. Yeah. Well, so it sort of evolved. It came about, I think, of course, from all of the things I did through the years. But I think it really evolved from mostly from working in business, working with and talking with businessmen and women from around the country. There are a lot of people I've been working with, and what I've discovered is most of them work for somebody else.
I get that.
They're making their bosses rich, fulfilling the dreams of their bosses, while having very little idea what's right for them. And they don't look in the mirror. They don't examine themselves, and so they're just living day to day for their boss. We were all brought up through our educational system to get a good paying job, work for somebody else, go back and forth from home to work for the next 45 years. It's called the 45-year plan.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, I can't tell you how much I can identify with that, and that is a problem that so many professionals have that are both in corporate America, and they may like what they do, and some people maybe have left and they become an entrepreneur and they've gone back, and you're straddling. You're just really straddling, trying to determine, what to do, what's for me. So I can completely identify with what you're saying, because it's a little tough to have, the freedom, the everything that you want more of, to really go along life's journey and just have it be abundant and free flowing and easy. It's tough. It's really tough. But when you program yourself to really tap into your genius from the inside out, I think it's something that we all could learn from. Good stuff, Tim. We're going to take a quick break, and we are going to be right back with Tim Thorndike talking about not only his great book, but finding clarity and listening up to what your inner voice is saying. This is Diana Price, and you're watching Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio. Stay with us.
Gomez coming to you live from Los Angeles at the Spicy Business Talk Radio Show with Diana Price. I am a thought leader, speaker, and author, and I am here today sharing with Diana's audience exactly how my online business and my book, 7 Secrets of the Chiefs, can change your financial life forever. And let me just tell you, if you are considering radio as an opportunity to help promote or build your business, or just bring awareness to the message that you're carrying, Diana Price is the woman to get you on the audience and access this audience. I'll tell you, she asks you the right questions at the right time to make sure that you look and feel like the expert that you really are in your field. Make sure that you click the link below, get in touch with Diana and her team, and I will see you on the other side of Spicy Business Talk Radio. Thanks so much.
Hi, welcome back. This is Diana Price, and ultimately your business is about the people you work for and the people you serve. And today we're serving you up some really good nuggets and valuable information about being you and just being. Just think about that word being. When you are being from the inside out, and you don't, sometimes it's fearful, but when you finally get there, it's such a good feeling, and the journey was worth it. We're talking today with Tim Thorndike, and Tim is on Skype, video Skype with us. Hi, Tim. Hey, Tim. Hey, Tim. Hey, Tim.
Hi there.
So welcome back, Tim, and I just wanted to find out a little bit more about how you got into this business of coaching. I consider coaching serving. It's being a servant to all of the people that you work for. So how did you get into coaching, and how are you helping people find their riches and their life?
Well, first of all, I've been doing teaching various sorts and mentoring for probably 15, 20 years. But so as far as life coaching goes, I was coaching people about life situations, not just about their job.
Mm-hmm.
I found that I was working with people in business, as I was saying before, and asking them. I sort of would go around just informally and take surveys about business people, like, what is your unique niche, or what is your purpose in life? And they'd look at me, and they'd tell me what kind of things they've done in their jobs, or what they're good at, or what their talents are that they've developed along the way. but I think they missed the point entirely. My question to them was, what is your unique niche in life? In other words, what is it that reflects the true you, as you were saying, Diana, and that nobody else can do because of your unique perspective on life, and that the world is waiting for you to share it with them?
That's such a good reason to bring to be a coach, to be a consultant, to bring the things out of people that they really already have deep down inside them, but just need a little bit of help, because we all have all the answers inside of. We all have all our answers. They're all there. We just need coaches like you, Tim, to help us bring it out. So I know.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, see, Tim, I know you, so we spent some time together learning and really actually developing personally and professionally in several really high-level seminars, right? So
Yeah, high level.
yeah, so we get that. We get that. So Tim, if you were to because when you work with your clients have to have, they have to have a purpose, like you said. They have to really know that. So what do you think are the 5 keys to discovering someone's own unique purpose? What are the 5 keys?
Well, receptivity is the first one.
What was that first one?
Receptivity.
Receptivity.
To be receptive, or to be willing to accept the right ideas that reflect who you uniquely are. Those ideas that are affirming that you're a winner. And next, we must silence that voice that speaks to us about that affirming. That's a wonderful, good, calm, affirming voice. But next, we need to silence the critical voice, or the whiner within.
So the first critical one is you have to be receptive? Receptivity? Is that what you said?
Receptivity to the right ideas.
Okay.
We can always be receptive. We're receptive every day to all sorts of things.
Yes.
Coming through the news. I live in St. Louis.
Oh, that's right. St. Louis guy.
Yeah. Rioting in the streets right now. But we need to be receptive. If we want to actually go and grow, we need to be receptive to the right ideas. So those right ideas are the ones that are affirming us, affirming our goodness, affirming our value, affirming that we are to be winners. And the second one is that we need to silence that other voice that we have going on in our inner conversation that we seem to have every hour of the day. The critical voice, or as I call it, the whiner, the WHINER, the one that's always whining within you. And I've got some really good ways to take care of that. Third, and we talked about this, examine yourself. Take an inward inventory of what is uniquely you. So many times, if we even begin this task, we think, well, no one's going to ever want that. I was told that that's not something you can actually make money with. Yes, I'd love to be able to do that, but that's just a hobby. Or when I was in school, they told me to be quiet and not talk about things like that. Well, we break down each of those walls.
Yeah.
And that goes back to that eliminating that critical voice, or at least getting it to a point where you're no longer paying any attention to it. And so take an inward inventory.
Okay.
Examine your thought, your consciousness. Fourth, gain a clear vision for your future. I mean, if we can understand or see, you might say, what we do have to offer, whether we think there's anybody out there that wants to hear us or not, it's something we really have a love for. What most people don't realize is if there's something you love to do or love having or being or whatever, there probably are a few dozen other people around the world that are just like you, just not in your own household.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So then from that we get a picture of what we really would like to have for our future. You know, what do you desire your day-to-day life to look like? And what's the motivation behind that lifestyle? So once we get a clear picture of that, and something, you know, there are the goal setters. They do that. They set goals and they have a vision of what their day-to-day life would be like in the future, and they make it.
Absolutely.
They make that today.
They make that intentional.
Now happening.
That's right.
In their thinking.
That's right.
But lastly, then, we take this clear-sighted vision for the future, and we write out. You write out your brilliant purpose.
Write out your what, Tim?
Brilliant purpose.
Your brilliant purpose.
Your brilliant purpose.
Yes.
It's a statement you're going to do. You write it out, and because you've had these ideas about things, and you might have seen, you know, what you'd like to do. Now let's put this into a cohesive whole. Now this is not limited to a specific job or skill or time or geographic location, like I got to do it in Tahiti or whatever, you know, or I've got to be in L.A. You know, do not put limits on yourself. This is totally unlimiting you. And your brilliant purpose statement encompasses your true passion, what you really feel strongly passionate about.
Yes.
It took me a long time to figure that out for myself.
Wow.
And it got to the point where I was being coached, and I thought, you know, I'm not passionate about anything. You know, it comes and goes. I take it as it comes. And then somehow we got onto another conversation that really struck a chord with me, and I go, yeah, and I'm talking about it like this, and my coach said, Tim, I can tell you're very passionate about that. You might want to look into that more.
Good stuff. And Tim, I just wanted to follow up because those 5, we're going to come back and review those, but those 5 things are so critical. And when you said you have a coach, and we all leaders have, at least I do, I have coach, and we all need coaches because there's a lot of things in our life that we think, I got that, I know how to do that, but in retrospect, we really need some really good encouragement to help us along our journey because, yeah, we got it, we know what to do, but sometimes we just don't do it. Someone that has, I always say, that has run the race to really get you back in track. And one of the other comments I just wanted to make about what you just said, so valuable, is that everything that we do, all of those negatives, all those things that, you know, when we examine ourselves, when we find all these reasons that we shouldn't do something, I want to just throw it out there to look at it as an opportunity. It's something that you've never done before. Find the opportunity in those kinds of things. So, Tim, I just can't tell you how awesome that was. And which one of the 5 do you think is your top? Which is your top 5? Which is your top 5?
My top one of the 5.
Your top one. I'm sorry. That's just what I meant. Your top one of the 5. Thank you. Which one is your top of the 5?
Well, I'd have to say it's the first one.
The first one.
Yeah. If you don't get the first one.
Receptivity.
Yeah, listening. If you don't get the first one right, you never get to step 2. You know, if you don't get your little piece on the board of the board game on the board.
Yeah.
You know, you can't play the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you can't play the game because you're afraid. And that comes back to your book, you know, the fear part of all of us. And, you know, fear, you know, how would you define fear? How would you define fear? I want you to define it.
Well, that goes back to the title of my book. You know, you may have wondered why I spell out.
Yeah. Why did you
it-
dash it like F
yeah,
dash, E dash, A dash, R dash? Why'd you do
right.
that?
Well, many are familiar with the acronym of FEAR,
Uh-huh.
or FEAR. It really describes the essence of one's fear. It is FEAR, meaning false evidence appearing real.
I love it.
Now, see, fear appears real to the one fearing,
Yeah.
much like a bad dream appears very real to the dreamer. However, an onlooker gazing down at the slumbering dreamer
Uh-huh.
knows the dreamer isn't in peril, and that he or she is actually safe in his or her own bed. When the onlooker awakens the dreamer soon realizes that the fearful dreaming experience wasn't actually real at all, and the evidence was all there. The evidence of the evidence to be fearful was all there, but it was only within the dream, the illusion.
So,
The fear the dreamer experienced was only false evidence.
false evidence.
That was appearing real.
That is so, so true. And I love that. I couldn't agree with you more. False evidence appearing real. And it
Can I
really
just
kind
go
of, sorry?
Can I just go on just a little bit more about that?
Oh, absolutely. Go right ahead, Tim.
Finish this thought, and that's where most people begin, seeking their solutions in that dream, whether it's related to relationships, finances, health, whatever. One believes that he or she is lacking good relationships, good health, money, and stable finances,
Yes.
and therefore is fearing that lack or the thought of potential lack. Destroying that fear of lack, loosening and losing those mental chains that hold you down, you naturally begin to rise up to abundance.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and that's your natural state, as we were talking about in the beginning. This natural state of abundance that we find deep within us. It's as if you're underwater, you're holding your breath underwater, and you've got these, like your scuba equipment, you wear weights and to keep you down so you don't keep rising up. And you've got all these weights, and you're trying to get to the surface, you're holding your breath, and
Like,
yeah, it seems like a huge lack of air down there.
yeah.
But when you reach the surface, there's an abundant supply of air,
Yes.
more than you need.
Yes.
Plenty, really, plenty.
Plenty.
And for most of us, breathing air is our natural state, not breathing water, or we would have been made of fish.
Right.
So, once again, it stands for false evidence appearing real, and I do go into that in much more depth in my book.
So, false evidence appearing real is something that we can all identify with. So thank you for that in-depth explanation, because I want to ask you just to, for the purpose of getting out, getting unstuck when you might get into false evidence appearing real, when you're a little bit afraid to take the next step, because it's something that, you might not want to risk failing. You may not want to risk embarrassment. It might be an ego problem. So any solutions, any tips, any keys to getting past the false evidence appearing real?
Yeah. Well, what you hit on, Diana, is something. The first key had to do with listening and receptivity to what's true about you. Now, I'm just going to have to say right that humility is what is true about each one of us too. It's not the ego trip. Ego is actually a wall that was built up somehow, and we can break that one down.
Yes.
But a fear of failing. Americans have been taught
Uh-huh.
not to fail, not to fail, not to fail. And the thing is that every single successful American, every single successful person in life, anywhere in the world, has failed
Yes.
some dozen times.
That's right. That's right.
And you pick anybody, or you can take Henry Ford. He went bankrupt 4 times before he finally found
Right.
something that was worth that the people wanted.
Right.
He was in the auto industry the whole time, but he was a race car driver. He was a race car mechanic. He built race cars. He built luxury cars, which seemed to be the thing at the time. And he went bankrupt each time. And then he came upon, let's build a car that everybody can drive, that everybody can afford. And so, do you think that took a bit of humility to, after 4 bankruptcies, to still go out there and do it again?
Right.
Well, yeah, because you're not going to ever get off of first base, you might say, using one of our American idioms. You will never get beyond first base by always saying, "Well, I tried it. That doesn't work."
That's
because
right.
you tried it for 5 seconds,
That's right.
or you tried it for you gave one good try at it. Maybe it is for you. Maybe it isn't.
Maybe it isn't.
You'll never know by quitting too soon.
Right. Now,
Quitting.
do you remember the number of times Thomas Edison tried to invent the light bulb, the light?
Not exactly, but it was around. It was thousands and thousands
Yes,
of times.
thousands.
And the journalist that interviewed him said, "How can you stand to have failed that many times and kept going?" And he said, Thomas Edison said, "I never saw it as failing. I just realized those were ways not to do it."
Isn't
And,
that...
and Diana, as children, we always are failing. Try to show me a child
Right.
that's born, gets up and walks, and starts doing backflips down your hallway, or in the maternity room. No, they can't crawl. They fail at crawling.
Right.
Until the bazillionth time they start crawling. And then they try to stand up. They grab the edge of that coffee table and they try to stand up. They bang their head on the coffee table. Oh, my God. The world's coming to an end. And they fail. But eventually, they don't give up. They fall down so many times. Thank goodness they have padded seats.
Go
ahead.
I was just having to not only supporting what you were saying about kids, because it reminded me the time when I used to ride my bike in front of my house, and I would always fall. Because there was like this big, dent in the curb where a tree was growing under the sidewalk, and I'd always just run past that part. And every time I rode my bike over that part, I would fall flat on my face, and I didn't care. I got up. Oh, I fell, and I get up and I do it again and again and again. So you're absolutely right. But we don't think of it as failing, and how you program your mindset to receive, again, receptivity that, Tim, you were so brilliantly brought out in the 5-step process. If you receive it the right way, it is not a failure. It's about, and I'm going to keep going over about the brilliant things that you said about receptivity. So it's about using it as an opportunity. So, Tim, I want to congratulate you on the amazing content of your book, Inside Out, and the fear concept. This is something that every person alive goes through. So it is just so apropos. It is such the right thing at the right time. So congratulations on this amazing, outstanding content book. So, I'm just enjoying talking about the book. I know there's so many other things we should be talking about, but the content is awesome. Anything else you want to share about that fear?
Well, you give me goosebumps just talking about it.
Well, I tell you what, you think about those goosebumps, because we're going to take a quick break, and you are just phenomenal. I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying just the content and the conversation. It's like I'm having lunch with a friend, and I'm not eating any calories. So you stay with us, and we will be right back on Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio with Tim Thorndike. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Charles Bray. I'm president of Sullivan International. We're a management consulting firm. If you're calling on large corporate accounts and you'd like some help effectively penetrating an account, give us a call or look us up at sullivaninternational.com. Again, our website, sullivaninternational.com. Today, I was a guest speaker at Diana Price and Associates on her radio program. Diana is an incredible hostess. One of the things I love about her when it comes to PR or leadership development or training, she's excellent. I would highly recommend that you take advantage of her services. Again, we were on Spicy Business Talk Radio with Diana Price and Associates. Her website, dianapriceandassociates.com. If you're looking for leadership development, training, PR, coaching, give Diana a call.
Hi, this is Diana Price. Welcome back. We're talking today with Tim Thorndike. We're talking about so many awesome things, and the main thing, listen up to this, because it's all about fear. Tim has this great book called Inside Out, and I've just been fascinated about this book, Inside Out. And he's been talking about fear, how it's false evidence appearing real. Can you identify with that? Because I can really identify with having false evidence just consume you sometimes. It really is. It's one of the things that as leaders we have to be aware of how this affects us. And let me tell you before I bring Tim. Is Tim back with us? Tim.
Yep.
I just wanted to share how this is game changing. One of the programs that I do, a workshop, it's called Game Changing Leadership Insights. And what Tim is sharing with us today is completely game changing when it comes to really programming and going through our core to bring out the things that we have to live on purpose and how to do that. So let's welcome back Tim with a nice big round of applause. Yay, Tim! Yay! Welcome back, Tim.
Hi.
Now, we were talking about your amazing book and your amazing insight to create something from the inside out. This is, and we hear a lot about that, on the internet. But I just want you to share with our audience how we can bridge the gap from knowing what we're meant to be and being afraid to do it, and maybe being afraid to just really get out there and go for our legacy and find the abundance that we know that we have. But we're afraid. We don't want to cross the line. We don't want to, get out of our comfort zone.
I know.
How can you help us with that, Tim? Help.
How? Yes. Good. I know exactly how a lot of people feel. I've been there. I was there for a long, long time. Well, we talked about how to establish acknowledging and rediscovering our talents and gifts.
Right.
Some of them are obvious, and some of them are well hidden.
Right.
We've tucked them away at about age 8, somewhere in the corner of our consciousness, and they've probably collected so much dust since then, striations of dust that we won't even we don't even acknowledge that they're there right now. But when you think about it, Diana, when you were very young, a lot of people say, I want to be a nurse, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be a world explorer or something. But then they're told, oh, stop dreaming pie in the sky.
Yes.
And so they drop it. and it gets put in the corner of their consciousness, and they
Right.
forget about it.
Yeah.
But those things were the things that they really had a passion for.
See?
If we can unearth them, a little excavation work getting done. If we can unearth them from being hidden to being obvious, then we have these people will usually get very excited about their life again.
Yes.
And we translate all these talents and gifts. This is where I feel I have a sort of a unique perspective. We translate these into spiritual qualities. In other words, you can say,
like that, Tim.
You can say, I'm a good bookkeeper. I like numbers and things like that. I say, okay, so you're detail-oriented, and you like exactness. You like precision. Oh, yeah, I like precision very much. And you like a sense of order. You're an ordered person. Yeah, that too.
Yes.
So that's what translating them into spiritual qualities.
I love that, Tim.
These are qualities that really, I believe, come from the omnipotent, all-good, universal source. Now, some people may not go for that, and that's okay. But they can still understand the quality.
Yeah.
Break these things down into thought and exchange these objects for what they really stand for.
Yes.
An oak tree stands for a sturdy thing. It's a sturdy foundation, and so on. Okay, and then we can see how we can mold and fashion these into that purpose statement, and then in alignment with that with your purpose, we tailor a niche market business that you would love to do.
See?
No one wants to get another job.
Right.
You know, we go into business for ourselves to do something that we love doing.
To enjoy our lives, to work for ourselves and not work for a job.
Yeah, right. Well, how much do you have to love it?
Yeah.
Well, something that you can really get excited about, and you could say, I don't care if I ever get paid. I just love doing this. Of course, you will get paid. Don't. The listeners shouldn't think that I'm talking about doing volunteer work, but it wouldn't matter if you were volunteering. You'd still love to do it.
Right.
I'm sure everybody has something that they like doing, and if they were asked to help somebody out and do it, they would love to help.
Right.
Yeah, if they don't ask, how much are you going to pay me first?
I love that, because I talk about we're a servant. As leaders, we are a servant. If you can't serve first, you should not be in this business. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah. You can go back and work in the gas station.
There you go.
Okay.
Because it's
so then we construct the message that we want to deliver that the person wants to deliver to the world. Just construct it in a way that we think that in other words, I'm just coaching them in that.
Yes.
How we can model that, form that message in order for that the whole world would see that this is really what they've been looking for the whole time.
So, Tim, how is your system different from other life business coaches? What makes your system so different?
Well, okay. I think I touched on some of that. I think, for instance, my brand of coaching is the only one where your spiritual qualities and universal guidance, along with metaphysical reasoning, help to develop an ever-sustaining business model. And considering that my perspective and the client's qualities are 100% unique and distinct from others, the results will also be unique and one of a kind. Mm-hmm. And I see many people hungering for fresh solutions to the dead-end stressful job, or JOB. That's another acronym.
Just over broke? Yeah.
Just over broke.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. So we get that.
By drawing out the solutions that you, the client, as you were saying, have already within you.
Yes.
And show how they can take how you can take your life dreams and have them reward you over and over. You know, I've looked around. I have seen a lot of books out there and seminars I've attended on spirituality, on improving your life. And I've been to a lot of business seminars too, and I read a lot of business books, how to be successful in business. But I had not found one that started back in, let's get our mind in gear, to being successful in business. There's always been a sort of a chasm, a little split there, and that's what I think I bridged that for the individual. The system's been proven by thousands, not thousands I've taught, but I've picked it up. I've picked it up from some other sources, even church.
Yes, Tim's a minister. He's an ordained minister. Yay.
You got that, huh?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Think I missed that for a moment?
Yeah.
Congratulations. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love weddings, and I love going to weddings, and so I figure I can get invited to a few more this way.
Okay, well, who's going to perform? Okay, never mind.
We're off topic. But anyway, so this system has been proven by thousands in the past, and the listener can also prove it for themselves too.
Yeah.
And some people I have found, I've been coached by a number of people. I have to admit it. You know,
that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
It's also part of humility.
Yes.
To admit that you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Somebody else does, and they need to tell you before you wished you'd known what you didn't know. Which I term that my 10 minutes before theory. You wish 10 minutes before you had known what to do in the right situation.
Right.
Anyway.
So I think that's awesome that, you have a spiritual element to your coaching to really differentiate you from the rest of the pack. And so that's the main thing, your spirituality. I think that's often awesome because we have so many, it's so important to me. Spirituality and just being the best me that I can be. You need a higher power to do that. And so I really applaud you for that spiritual part of your practice. Good job, Tim. Good job. So any other anything else about your system that we should know about that you'd like to share with us today?
Well, there is one having to do with just an example of what I was talking about. I knew this one attorney.
Oh.
I said I talked to a lot of highly paid professionals like doctors, lawyers, and executives, and et cetera. And this attorney, he left his he had a very large law practice in North Carolina. He left this large law practice to become, he had like 5 law offices throughout the state, to become a chef and restaurateur at his own 5-star dining establishment. And you might think restaurant. My mom was in the restaurant business when I was in high school, so I know that 1 out of every 3 restaurants fail within a couple years after opening up. And I've seen that happen walking down the street. But this guy, he actually learned how to make more money in his restaurant business than he ever did in his law practice. So, and I also know an MD who decided that his medical practice was never really his bag. He just, he came to grips with himself. This is really not what I was looking forward to when I started college. But he felt obligated to continue in that profession for quite a while after this realization.
We just got a few more minutes, Tim, so I want to hear the end of that story, though, if you can tell it to us as quickly as you can.
Okay, good. Thank you. Well, So he had a big change in his life. He felt like he was obligated to stay in that profession because he spent so much on his education, and his parents made him do it. But, and he had a big lifestyle, a big budget lifestyle because of that. But there was some other big change that took place in his life, and he thought, this is the time. He made the break, started doing what he always had dreamed about, no longer pressured by others, by parents or peers.
Yeah.
And, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for people like that.
Yes. I completely get that. I completely get that. Yes. Because what you are saying to me, Tim, is that you, too, are a servant. You are a servant, and that's where we have to start from. If leaders don't understand that, if people, business people, professionals don't understand that you have to serve first, you're going down the wrong path, completely going down the wrong path. So, Tim, I just wanted to highlight a couple things that you, getting to the bottom of our hour, but I wanted to highlight a couple things that you talked about today. And the one that really stands out, what are the 5 keys to discovering someone's own unique purpose in life? And number 1 is receptivity to the right ideas, affirming your values. Number 2, silence the critical whiner. Oh, don't we all have the whiner inside of us? Number 3, examine yourself and take inventory of what's uniquely you. Break down the walls. Break down the walls. Number 4, clear vision, clear future. Get a picture of what your future, what your day, and what your being is like. Number 5, your brilliant purpose statement is now going to follow. And I want to just highlight the fear factor that is false evidence approving real. Appearing real. That's right. False evidence appearing real.
It's only appearing that way.
It's only appearing real because it is
mirage, or the fact the sun rises in the east and goes down in the west.
That's right.
These are only appearances.
That's right. So these are 5 nuggets. A lot more, but those are 5 nuggets that we can take away with us. We can live by. We can use in our daily lives, and we can really use to impact the abundance that we are about to create by just kicking fear to the curb, kicking that comfort zone, unwrapping it, allowing it to dissipate, burn up, and goodbye. No more. No more. So, Tim, I think you have just been a slam dunk. No wonder. Slam dunk. That's just the kind of guy you are. So how can our listeners get in touch with you? What are some of the things that you do, and how can we get in touch with you? What about your book? I mean, what if somebody wants to get that book?
Okay. My website, which is, you can write this down, www.inluminating.com. That's INLUMINATING, like inside illumination.
I love it.
Inluminating.com. It's being revamped and should be up by the end of this week again. In the meantime, you're welcome to reach me on my Facebook page under Tim Thorndike.
Yay!
I want to, if you want a copy of my book, Inside Out, your path from FEAR to abundance, I normally charge $25.95 for that, and probably will again after this. But if you purchase it this week, I'm offering it to you as a digital download for only $2.95.
Yay, Tim! Good job. Ooh, our listeners, yay! How cool is that? They like that.
I want to make another offer to you.
Absolutely.
I'm calling it my Thanksgiving offer,
Uh-huh.
or Thanksgiving offering, and you'll see why in a minute. Because you're listening to this interview live on Spicy Business Talk, I'm offering a 2-hour live webinar on unlocking your unique, illuminated genius for profit. Not at the price I'm charging the public, which is $297. That's what everybody who's not listening to Diana Price's Spicy Business Talk
Yay!
has to pay.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you free admission. It's my way of saying thanks for tuning in.
That is
My
so
Thanksgiving
cool.
offer.
What a great offering.
In return, all I ask is that you give me a little feedback after following the webinar. Yeah, the webinar.
When is it again? When's the webinar?
I didn't say yet.
Oh, darn.
It will be.
I'm all
right.
excited.
Well, me too, because this will be my first webinar.
Yay, Tim!
It'll be Saturday, December 20th in the morning, or Monday, December 22nd in the evening. Now, I know that's coming up to Christmas, and if you can't make it because you're going to be in the Bahamas, I understand. But if you can make it, I would love to have you, and we'll all be learning.
Yay!
One thing I learned every time I teach is that I learn a whole lot, maybe even more than anybody else does.
So cool.
Send me an email, and I'll send you an invitation to the webinar to register.
And make sure that when you send Tim an email, in the subject line or somewhere in the body, you make sure that you say that you heard Tim on Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio. That way you can get the offering that Tim.
Yeah, you won't get it any other way. You have to tell me. You have to tell me that you listen.
All right.
And now my email address would be
Yes.
Tim. That's a hard one. TIM at illuminating.com.
One more time. Tim at illuminating.com.
Yes, I'll spell it out. So illuminating one more time. IN as in Nancy, L as in Laura, U, M as in Martha, I, N Nancy, A, TING.
Absolutely.
As in ting, as in give me that ting.
Well, Tim, I want to thank you so very much. One more big round of applause for Tim Thorndike. And Tim, please stay around a little bit right after we close because I've got a couple words for you. But I just want to thank you so much for all the great nuggets that you brought to us today, especially those 5 keys to getting to your own personal purpose in life. You know, I have a company called Your Life's Purpose, so I'm so on with that. So, but I just wanted to say thank you to Tim and make sure you take advantage of Tim's offer today. And if you need anything at all during the week, you know that we are always there for you. You can reach us at facebook.com Spicy Business Talk or facebook.com Diana Price Associates. And if you haven't already friended me and liked my page, please do that because we share a lot of just valuable information on our Facebook page. So if you want to be more into our community, we would love to have you there. And just remember that game-changing leadership insights is an investment. It's an investment to improving your knowledge, improving your skills, and improving your performance. Thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you, Tim Thorndike. And you guys all have a great week and a great holiday.